Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of The Little Farmer's Farm with me, Guru Mafinda. Today we're going to be potting on some sweet corn and I hope you enjoy it. If you do like it, please comment, like and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And if you are a subscriber and you haven't hit the bell notification button yet, then please do. We like the happy thumbs. Take care. Okay, so the first job before we actually net the bed up is to prepare the ground, do the groundwork. And for that, I've got my mate Attila the Hun. Here he is. A fearful beast. So this is going to break up the soil and integrate the manure that we put onto it last year. It will have been drawn down a lot by the worms, but we're going to loosen up the soil because it's going to be slightly compacted. I'm not digging. It's kind of a no-dig thing, but the first sort of like 6 inches, we're going to loosen up with a tiller. Basically, you just keep going over it, and any clods that are coming through get broken up by the tiller. And create a better growing medium for our smaller plants, our baby brassicas, so that they become big, strong, healthy brassicas through the teenage years into adulthood, middle age, and then finally get eaten before they get too old. It's a bit like Logan's Run. If you remember that, Logan's Run. You just keep going over it like that until you get a better tilled, finer tilled. Alright, so I'll carry on doing that all the way through until the whole bed's done, and then we'll get our netting. We'll get our netting sorted out. So it's been weeded. When the weeds do come up to the surface again, because a lot of them are slightly below the surface, and so the till produces the weeds, brings them up to the surface, the baby weeds, and so they can get pinched out and dispatched. So then at least you know from the start of your bed you haven't got a big weed issue. Like everywhere else on these plots, we've got the bindweed, and we've also got the mare's tail or horse's tail that's very prevalent on these plots, and it's a pain. So as you come across that as well, you take them out, along with little potatoes that you find. This was a spud bed last year. I found about 6 or 7 in this bed. Right, okay. So I won't bore you to tears anymore with the tilling, but once that's tilled, you rake it so as it's all flattened off and level. And jobs I've got here, another one. If I can get it out. No, I can't get it out, but that's the potato under there. I'll have to dig it out, that. It'll come through again, that. But yeah, you think you've got them all, and then the next season you do this, and you find about another 60 baby ones that you've missed. So remember, for this year, we'll be doing plenty of digging. Dig, 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 fork, 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 until I get as many of them out as I possibly can. But I'll never get them all. Right, I'll just switch you off. Okay, folks, see you in a bit. Now, allotment gardening can be described as light to moderate exercise, and I would strongly suggest that 2 or 3 passes with a tiller on a 16-foot by 4-foot bed is definitely not light exercise. We're into the moderates there, boys and girls. But 2 or 3 passes with a tiller produces a fine till, which is very easy now to just go like that with, because there's no effort at all now. very soft, very crumbly. Just the right mix of clayey and humusy. Loads of little potatoes still coming out. But that's gone down now about 6 inches into the soil. And what we're going to do now, because it's brassicas, we're going to give it a top dressing of garden lime and some 6X concentrated farmyard manure. And we're going to rake that in. So that's the next phase. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so we've got the garden lime in the bunny bucket. There's about 3 kilos in there, and so for every 4 foot square we sprinkle a kilo of the garden lime for every 4 foot square. Club root, see, you've seen club root on the other episodes, but club root is a sort of a pathogen that attacks the roots of your brassica plants and causes them to swell, therefore not taking in as much nutrition as they need, and you get weak, spindly, sickly looking plants with club root. So we lime it, and then we're going to 6X it. So I'll start up here. I won't do it for the full duration, but I'll just make a start. We've got our bunny bucket. Keep it low so it doesn't get too airborne. We'll do that all the way along. Okie dokie, pig in a pokey. Okay, now for the 6X treatment. Again, I'm going to give a good sprinkle, a good handful. Probably a handful for every couple of square feet, to be honest. Because the plants will enjoy that, definitely. The brassicas, because they love nitrogen, and that's what that is, concentrated. Right, so I'll carry on and complete the bed now. So it just remains now to rake it in flat. So I'll go and get the rake, and we'll do that. Back. So I just use the back of the rake. See what a fine till that's made now. Just try and get it like a snooker table, a billiard table. And so, because I can't fast forward, I'm going to pause you there so you don't fall asleep, and I'll show you it completed. All done and raked level, easy as pie. That's all that needs, babies. Babby, that's all that needs, babby. And so yeah, they're ready for the brassicas to go in. They're going to be 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, 18 brassicas going in there, interplanted with your lettuce. I've just burst a blister on my thumb, look. I've actually been grafting. Bloody Nora. That's not right, is it? So yeah, 18 brassicas in there. I think I'm going to put 6 of each of the broccoli, the cauliflower, and cabbages, broccoli, cauliflower in there. 6 of each. So gloves, what do you think of the onanists and their flaccid thumbs? Fair enough. So that's 15 foot long by 4 foot wide, and it stands at just under 3 feet tall. So 15 plus the 3 is 18, plus another 3 is 21. So I'm measuring out 22 feet. 2 layers of scaffold debris netting of 22 feet in length, and that should give us enough to cover that bed. We're going to stitch them both together. So once I've cut that, I've already cut the first layer of 22 feet. I'm going to cut it to match precisely to that, and then we're going to zip tie it all together. Guess how much these were? We're going to be selecting the big ones, the black ones, to zip tie it together about every 6 inches. James is allowed out just for 5 minutes, aren't you, James? What's up, laddie? You're looking a bit sulky. What's the matter? Give us a high five. I know why you're sulking, because your tablet's run out of battery, hasn't it?
No, it's not run out of battery.
Oh, why? What was it? I thought you wanted to charge it up.
No.
Oh, well, never mind. Right. So, in here we've got
But I do want to charge it up.
the zip ties. There's 80 zip ties in there, which should be more than enough for what we're doing. And we're going to start zip tying this together now. So me and James are going to crack on, aren't we, mate?
There's a little slug on it.
A little... A little slug, the little swine. Let's get him over there. Ping! Right, well, let's get zip tying. So the little farmer's got a big plank there, haven't you? So just put it down for a minute, mate. It's be heavy for you, that. Just rest it on the fence or something, or on the floor. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold back the top layer. There's 4 layers on that side of edges. So we'll fold back the top layer about a foot and hold it down with that. Alright, so we just folded it back about a foot there and weighted it down so that top layer's folded back on itself. And we weighted the whole netting down because there is a bit of a breeze blowing today, so we don't want the netting getting blown all over the place while we're stitching them together. Here's a little farmer back again from his travels. Shut door. We're penning our Bradley in, so while we do this job we don't want him running around. He's inside there with mummy. So yeah, we're going to stitch those with the zip ties that are in this bucket. So we're going to sit side by side on here. Oh, look at him there, doing his gymnastics. Yeah! Right, so we're going to do that.
I jumped backwards.
I know, you're ace. You're like a bloody Black Panther. We'll crack on. So what are you doing there, James?
Zip tying.
Zip tying them together. What do these stop? What sort of creature will this stop from getting on our crops?
Butterflies, white.
What is it?
White butterflies.
Yeah, cabbage white butterflies. And what do they do when they get inside? If they get inside?
Lay eggs on the plants.
That's the wrong way around, that. They lay eggs on the plants and then what?
Caterpillars come out and eat everything.
You sound like you're right bored. What's up with you? You're the little farmer. You're the little...
I'm just zip tied. Look how much.
What? You've not done all of them. I was helping. Once I was sat there, that's where the gap is. So he's doing them about every 2 inches like that, zipping them together. But we're rolling them over. So we roll them over a couple of little times, don't we? Put the zip ties in then, and then that keeps it tight. So we roll them because if you don't roll them, then when you put it over your net, over your hoops, then a little gap appears there and the butterfly can get in. So that's why we're rolling them like that. Keep it pretty tight though. He's doing a good job, so it's about every sort of couple of inches into it, you're doing that. Make sure you keep your roll low when you're doing it, you know, when you zip them up. And keep it in the roll. But yeah, he's doing a good job there. Cracking little job. Get them nice and tight then. Nice one, mate. Give us a thumbs up. James. Come on, James. Let's have a look at you. Let's have a look at your cheeky chimp face. There's how you got a cheeky chimp face. Give us a thumbs up for your dad like that. All right then.
I can zip tie.
Get them. Well, you've only got about another 100 go.
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Man and his Spider-Mobile.
Wait, can I hop in? You can't push the boat. Yeah. I'm gonna push Braggy.
Now the little farmer's got the ever-loving joy of snipping them. That was an hour of our lives we'll never get back, wasn't it, that, James?
Probably about 3 hours actually.
It weren't, it was an hour. It probably felt like 3 hours to you. But they're all snipped together, as you can see there. All zipped up, stitched together. Now that'll be about 7 feet. In fact, it'll be more than that, won't it? That'll be round about.
This is a lot more than 7 feet.
It's 6.5. It'll be 6.5 feet, won't it, for each side? So that's 13 feet.
I can jump about
In span, it'll be.
I can jump about 6.
Go on, take a run down there and see how far you can jump in a leap. So yeah, we'll never get that hour back. Go. That was like a furry stride. It wasn't. It was like you went from there. You landed about there. It's about 6 feet.
This is not 6 feet.
It's about 6 feet. That right. So all zipped together now. James is going to snip them all off. Snip all the tails off. Gather up the tails, and we'll get rid of those into the bin. And then we'll do the next phase. So that's great. That's a great job that you're doing there. So he's tying the canes onto that, zip tying them on, as you can see there. Those zip ties, although they look quite robust, sometimes the teeth don't bite, do they? When they're tightening up. So he's got some more little zip ties there. Do you want to put some of them little zip ties around as well? Them yellow ones in your bucket. But once all that's done, just make sure it's relatively in alignment there, all the way across. And that's your sort of ridge poles that are going down. Ridge canes. Yeah, go on then. Just zip tie them up when you can, where they look a bit loose. Bye bye. See you back home.
Yeah, don't be late.
I won't. Right, so they're on the way back home to put on tea or dinner for you US viewers, and I'm just going to finish off the tent now. It's much easier when there's people helping. But at this stage, this is sort of like the final stage of it. It's a doddle, so I can do that on my own. So before they left, the little farmer and the lady farmer assisted and actually zip tied the ridge line. So that's the ridge zip bit that me and James did, and that's attached now, as you can see there, to the central canes that run down the middle, or kind of run down the middle. Yeah, like that. So that's your top fastening, your top fixing is in place now. So all we need to do now is get some more zip fixings into the sides, tensioning it as we go. I'll show you, I'll start it off and show you what I mean, yeah? So yeah, that's one side practically done. So we zip tie about 18 inches away from the top canes, the ridge canes. We zip tie one down there all the way along, and then just above where the stitch together point is, the actual debris netting stitch together point is, we zip tie on there. We don't zip tie on there, we zip tie on there and we push that down. We don't want to put tension on that, because what happens when you put tension on that is that for some reason the way that they stitch these together leaves these holes there, and when you pull them under tension, that's just about cabbage white sized. So we don't want that because they'll get in. But those are attached there, fastened, to the water pipe all the way along, as you can see there. And that's that one side done. So I'll carry on with that and I'll show you how the system actually works in the end. It's a good little system, this. So that's all gathered in at the sides now, as you can see there, and zip tied as we're going, keeping that torsion down there. And I think if our James was here, he would call that a pro job, because I think it looks smart. And I'll show you how these work. We put the zip ties on to actually clamp it to the tubing. There's a reason we've done it in this way, and I'll show you now. It's for ease of access. So there's curtains up. So whenever you want to get in there to weed, to harvest your crops, whatever you need to do, it's dead simple, because as they just simply slide up, you start at the bottom first, loosening off at the bottom, move them up about a foot all the way along, and then you move the tops up to where the cane is, the ridge cane is, and then just keep moving them up like that. It takes you about 3 passes to get it to there, which is literally about 30. Well, no, it's not. It's about 1.5 minutes to get that up like that. And when you want to bring them down, I'll just put it on the tripod so you can see this better. And you can secure the net sides down and keep those in place with either tent pegs, canes, even, as you can see here, trampoline springs from the 2 trampolines that were recycled to create the polytunnel. The springs came with it, and there they are waiting down the tent, keeping it secure to the base. Butterflies can't get in, nor can the birds. Happy days. All that remains now is to trim the tails off and secure the base of the skirt so that the little buggers can't get underneath, creep underneath the fence. Nice. Very, very nice. Superb. This is how Eden is looking right now. Very lush and very green, but a bit untidy. Although we've weeded all of those beds. There's a couple of customers waiting for the buffet, but you won't be having my brassicas. Night night everybody. Have a good week.